to get into the first match of the day. A very exciting lineup of matches from the European region for Week 4 of league play for the RLCS. We're starting off with Flipside versus Excel with the commentaries, Wave Punk and Bindable Carpet.
We are live down here at DFH Stadium. You can see the Egg people have packed it for this glorious match. Always a packed stadium to watch Flipside play here. It's a beautiful day here in the neighborhood, and a beautiful day for a neighbor as well. Findable Carpet, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the times that you've talked about this stadium, I never know how to follow it up. I'm not about to talk about Egg people like for longer than we already have.
There's not. They're kind of, they have one thing. They watch Rocket League.
Yeah.
There's not really much more to say about that. And we like to watch Rocket League as well here. Flipside Tactics having a rough beginning to the season right now, sitting at 1-3. But Excel having a better season last season they had when they were back more as cow nose, and they're here at 2-1 right now, sitting nice and pretty, and to try and improve on that here today. And they're currently right now. Flipside is on a 2-loss streak. They've lost the last 2 games they played. Excel swept their last series. They're on a 3-game win streak, and we'll be able to see how those two storylines evolve as we get into this match here. But I think one interesting thing I wanted to point out, Neil Skok, a player that people have not been talking about that much. The only player I noticed who was in the top 5 of all of the accolades. He was number 1 for strikers, number 2 for the assists, and number 5 for the saves. And interesting, Gimmick from Cloud9 over on the North American side was also number 1 for striker and number 2 for the assists accolades as well. So similar storyline there, similar play styles as the stats would dictate here between Neil Skok, a player we have not been talking about, and Gimmick, who we've just been talking about every single week.
I do want to make a comment also on what Shogun was speaking on as far as when we talk about Flipside Tactics. When we make predictions, a lot of the weight is in their names. We understand how good these players are. We understand what they've done. And I don't want to say it out loud, but when does that stop being a thing? When are their names going to stop carrying weight because they're just not performing? And with their record right now, and depending on how they perform this series, it's where's the point of where I've lost faith in being able to predict Flipside Tactics for a win simply because I know they're great players? Because if they're just not working as a team, that's what Rocket League is. And they really have not been performing as a team. And as someone that's loved watching them for so long and loved watching them kind of break out in new sections and master things before any other team can, seeing them struggle this hard is kind of like a little hit in the heart. Yeah,
well, you heard Shogun saying, he's like, I just can't imagine Flipside sitting at 1-4. He's predicting Flipside for that reason here. But you know who else is sitting at 1-4 right now? Team Envious, a team that nobody expected to be down at the bottom. So anything can happen here in Rocket League, and I totally agree with everybody on the desk of this is a hard one to predict. Excel looking better than expected. Flipside looking worse than expected here. So how will it go? Let's find out. Only one way to find out. We'll see Cookser still rocking his beloved Batmobile. Pondex got a yellow Batmobile today. Usually going for more kind of an orangey color. And we'll get our best of 5 started. Pondex over to the side. Marky Dudov wins the 50-50. Mystic and Cookser a double commitment, but the shot towards the net will be blocked by Zenzis. Oh, but it goes off the post, and Marky will come in, punish that one hard. A pink cone sitting on top of Marky's car.
The double commitment, Mystic and Cookser. I think Cookser might have been the one. Yeah, Cookser's the one that actually got that touch. Surprisingly, even though he came from the much more difficult angle. And he knew Mystic was there, so he was that confident in his touch that he still went for it. And almost actually went in just off of that alone. But the follow-up from Marky was able to secure that goal.
The 2 toppers we've seen pros use this weekend, Jacob's hat and now Marky's cone, both painted pink. Mystic over the top of Zenzis, and past Neil Skok into the box. Pondex cleared away. And Cookser misses on the wall. Now Neil Skok down to the side. A demolition from Zenzis in the net. He'll be able to put it in, through and tie up the game. Nearly missed off the crossbar, but he'll get it in.
This has to be one of the more difficult things to make. Neil Skok really pushing that in as fast as he can, nearly making the strike. Cookser getting the demo just before Zenzis got that touch off. When you're in a counterattack, you need to get it in front of net as quickly as possible. So a lot of props goes to the passer in that.
And then the demo's nearly making the play there, but Zenzis got the touch. That will be a tie ball game here in the first minute. Now Mystic takes a shot towards the net. Neil Skok gets the block. Pondex rotates around. That'll be the first one up the wall. Misses contact. There's a bit of confusion there. Neil Skok the pass to Pondex down the field. And it was Neil Skok getting the pass to Zenzis. Number 2 on the assist leaderboard right now. He'll just continue to increase those stats. Zenzus and Neilskog both up, but Pondex, oh, he misses actually. Zenzus will have to move over. Now Neilskog down the field. Mystic in the corner, slowing it down. He'll get the pinch pass out to Cooks here. He's got Marky to work with. The flick over one onto the backboard. Marky's up, drops it down. Mystic in to take a final shot. Now Cooks are looking for an opportunity as well. Two shots there that looked like they probably could have been towards the net, but instead opted for the backboard. And Flipside will keep their game tied up here.
Well, Cooks here had Marky next to him, so in all reality, he could have potentially dropped it to him to the right as opposed to using the backboard as the pass. It did work out, but it was very difficult for Marky to get above that ball for the shot.
Mystic be able to play Pondex in the midfield. Now Marky to drop this down, Cooks are across, and Mystic with the follow. Over the top of Pondex. Bouncing it off his hood. Now he'll be looking for Marky in the midfield. Lost it again. Able to play past Pondex a number of times, but there goes Neilskog, who's able to follow. Now this pinch in a dangerous position. Cookser's up, does not make contact. Neilskog had a zone on him as well, but I don't think that was why he missed. Just straight up not making the contact he was looking for. A difficult shot. Pondex also didn't miss in the midfield. Now Cookser slowing this down, looking for the 1v1s with Zenzus and net. Zenzus will be able to play up high. Neilskog getting bumped by Marky, but Pondex is there to play it away. Zenzus now positioned in the net. Neilskog tries to dribble it out by himself. It'll be Zenzus who gets it. Now back out to midfield. Marky into the corner. Zenzus and Pondex a bit tangled up. They space back out. Slow movement from Flipside into the front of the box there. Cookser tries to push it through. Who gets down first? It's Cookser. He grounds himself and flips it in. Able to push it through the defense and get the lead.
A lot of weird interactions happening for this. Mystic actually missing that first touch. I think he was trying to get around it, but it was really difficult to stay. He barely got around that ball. Pushed it back towards the middle to Cooks here. A lot of people kind of clustered up in net. Excel clearly losing a little bit of communication and positioning there, but Flipside Tactics take the advantage.
That was just a bit of defensive miscommunication in the corner, too, that enabled that ball to spend so much time. The back half, Zenzus and company. Now Pondex out. Zenzus airborne shot towards the backboard. Can he double tap this? Will not make contact. That'll be a Marky shot across the net of Excel. Now Mystic looking for Marky, drops it down. The 1-2 pass almost works, but Zenzus is there, sends it away. The savior medal for Zenzus. Now Cookser to slow play, past Pondex. 50-50 pops it above Marky, but both Neilskog and Zenzus are up, and this drops back down to an empty net. Mystic takes the shot, it goes off the post. Maybe a bit of a zone or a bit of interference from the defenders as they tried to recover there. A missed opportunity. Flipside's got the lead. It could have been a more substantial one, though. Now away with the final minute of game one. Neilskog out. Over the top of Cooks here. Mystic to the far side. Marky looks to wrap around, but Zenzus wins the 50-50. Now Pondex looking for the pass into the box. The shot from Zenzus is good. Look at this 1-2 play. Very quick and tight.
It honestly, that as quickly as it can possibly be. Pondex right off the side, Zenzus following right behind him, and that was 100% conscious. Sometimes you see players just blindly smacking the ball on the backboard, but Pondex knew where that was going. He knew he had a player beneath him. He was very conscious of how he smacked that as well against the wall. Very well played by both of those players.
And with that goal, we have a tie game with 39 seconds remaining. Overtime, a very real possibility here in game one. Super neutral 50-50 between Marky and Pondex. Zenzus gets there first and is able to put it into the back corner. Mystic off of the touch from Cookser. Can anyone finish this off? Mystic puts it to the far side, and Zenzus pinches it away. Neilskog over the top. What a defense. Mystic had the opportunity. It was so close, but just barely clipping that post. It gave a sliver of hope to Excel, and they took it. They made the best of it, and now they're up on offense with the final 10 seconds. Into the corner. You see Neilskog moving in towards the box. Zenzus is right there. Puts it behind Marky, and they'll finish it off with 3 seconds left. Excel takes the lead.
The light touch from Zenzus with all this pressure. He still opts to go. He actually got bumped. He got bumped, but he was able to get the flip just in time so that he didn't fly into the air anymore. And he touched it so lightly that Marky was unprepared, and they will take the lead with only 3 seconds left.
Flipside needs a monster kickoff, and they're not going to get it. They opted for the fake, but there was not a super strong touch from Excel there, so they were able to follow behind it, clear it away, and Pondex rocking the Bob Ross homage there. That's adorable.
It's a cool story, Bob.
That's cool.
No, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. 14 shots from FLIPSID and only 8 from Excel, yet Excel coming out with the victory here. Beautifully tight game all the way down. Only 1 goal separating the teams at any point. And FLIPSID struggling to find it there at the end. Honestly, it felt like there was some defensive mistakes from Excel that we saw FLIPSID scoring on, but mostly it was brilliant offensive pressure, brilliant passing that enabled Excel to score. I didn't feel like I was seeing many mistakes from FLIPSID. It was mostly just aggression from Excel.
And this has kind of been the storyline of Europe. A lot of that short passing plays really just misdirecting last second to make sure you can get the shot off. And something that we'd seen plague FLIPSID tactics earlier in the season was accuracy. They really were struggling. It's something we don't normally see of them, especially someone like Cooksier, who we just, revered as the Rocket League god.
Yeah.
And to see him miss anything was just, almost like, he's fallen. So that was, they're adapting to that a bit. So now they're doing a lot more short passing plays so that they force the opening so that they don't there's no missing at that point. At that point, you've pulled the defender out, you've made more opportunity. So I don't know if it was a conscious decision to acknowledge, hey, we can't make the shots, so let's do a couple more passes to make the shots easier, or if maybe they're just realizing this tactic is working a lot easier for them. But a couple of the really short passing plays right in front of net, but especially between Marky and Mystic, they were doing a great job of seeking each other. But Excel did it right in return, and they were able to bring it back with just a few seconds left.
And Excel continues their win streak, and FLIPSID continues their losing streak at this point. 4 games straight now for Excel. Cooksier passes to the middle. Marquise takes a shot. Zenzus gets the block, but Cooksier with the follow-up. FLIPSID tactics on the offense, striking first.
I have to watch this from Cooksier's perspective. There's no way. What? What a reaction! Knowing that got dropped down right in front of him, being able to adjust his car last second. Extremely circumstantial, but still very heads up for Cooksier to react to.
And now FLIPSID with the lead. I believe they scored first in game 1, if I remember correctly. The lead flipping, flopping a lot.
It hasn't been that long. You'd think we'd remember these things.
You think, just getting once your RAM gets cleared for game 2, sometimes just stuff like that goes with it. Nilskog to try. That was Marky who's able to block it out of his own box. Now Cooksier in looking for Mystic onto the backboard. Cooksier re-airborne. Marky who moves in on the screen from Cooksier. Nilskog actually missed this on the wall. Goes for the pass to Pondex, but he gave Mystic a lot of time to move up. And Pondex doesn't get much of a touch, neither does Zenzus. Marky expected Zenzus to make a touch, so he wasn't looking for the shot. He was looking just to keep the offense going. And he's done so. Cooksier will play it to the corner. Marky get played around by the 2 players in the corner from Excel. Now off the wall, Nilskog airborne before any of the FLIPSID players. He plays it straight to Cooksier. And it'll be Pondex who's able to push it back across. Zenzus will look for Pondex up in the corner. Cooksier just has to play to the side. Nilskog in to take a shot, but it's wide. The zone was there from the rest of his team. They all went for goalies. Brilliant setup by Excel. They will not score just yet. They'll stay down by 1 here in game 2.
Seem a little bit slower starting off in this game, but now starting to ramp up, finding themselves, even in FLIPSID's half, trying to get a lot of bumps.
Nilskog over to the side. Backs up on the wall. Nilskog, after getting the setup, went for goalies again. Talked about it a lot yesterday, how important the demos are and just how much more convenient they are for the pros with this patch. You see them a lot more activity. You see Mystic there looking for Pondex in net. Pondex still able to make this save. Keep the lead from extending for FLIPSID, and now a 1v2. Zenzus plays it basically straight to Mystic. He's able to clear it, but Nilskog with a read. Zenzus again looking for Nick, and Pondex tapped this one down and in. No, he was so close there. Just the motion laterally was too much, and he wasn't able to counteract it. Mystic now through. Pondex and Zenzus both up in the mid. A lot of space given by FLIPSID, and then Pondex wins the 50-50, so the double commit won't matter. Zenzus to play it over the top of Marky, and he can just play it high. Cooksier with the follow will put it towards the net, but Pondex plays it away. And right here at halftime, it's still 1-0 FLIPSID, 2-0, 2-0 FLIPSID. Look at the shot from Marky.
This first shot from Cooksier was just enough to bring someone back into net. Then Pondex trying to follow through. You can see him and Zenzus trying to come up. Nilskog on that goal line, stuck on all 4 wheels. Marky Duda just finding it's time for the strike, and there's the accuracy from them, though. It has clearly increased, and even just looking from week 2 to week 3, it increased. Their accuracy increased by about 50%. So they're on the up. If they can keep that going, then hopefully they'll be getting the wins in.
Able to find Zenzus caught out and increasing their lead to 2, largest lead we've seen today. It'll be Nilskog now down the field, stick up. Up and alone, he'll be able to pass to Marky cleanly. Gets it back to Mystic. These consecutive touches really giving FLIPSID a lot of ball control there, but then Cooks are not able to meet it up with the last touch there to send it into the box. FLIPSID to try and drop this one down. Cooks are over on the far side. He's airborne, but Pondex there as well. Cooks wins the touch war. Zenzis cannot get that one through there. Nielskuk back into the middle. Marky doing it all by himself, using the wall into the corner. Nielskuk able to play it back away as Zenzis moved into goal. Good rotations from Excel, but they're going to have to be able to break out and finally get it into the blue. Marky right there being quite the nuisance. Marky's positioning has been just on point this game. Always right there reading anything Excel's doing. Stopping all their shots before they even get to the box. Cookster and Mystic both committed to play that one away, and Mystic gets demoed in his own corner.
Whoa.
Miss from Marky. Cookster was there to bail him out. The final minute of game 2. Excel took the lead in game number 1, but FLIPSID set to tie up the series right now. If we can just hold on to this 2-goal lead. So far, the last half of the game, there's been very little pressure from Excel. It's been mostly FLIPSID with ball control. We'll go to the corner. Now the Cookster to Marky play. Mystic airborne. Zenzis plays it over the top. Nielskuk could possibly score off of this, but he decides he only opts to loft. Zenzis will drop it into the box. Marky is there. Now Pondex having to fall back. Retreat in time. Oh. Great counterattack here from FLIPSID. Mystic doing it all by himself. Makes it a 3-goal game.
Just a clean solo play, knowing it was just him and Pondex, so he kept it out of reach of Pondex by putting it on the backboard, and the saucy freestyle on the way to it as well. Getting the angle on that shot. Nice solo play from Mystic.
Beautiful stuff. And with that, basically securing the victory of game 2 here. FLIPSID will end their losing streak. Game 2 against Excel. Now Zenzis out into the middle. Cookster to drop it down. And this will be the end of the game as soon as the ball touches there. No score, shutting them out. FLIPSID Tactics does it with 3 goals. And now a game apiece for these two teams, both just trying to claw their way into secure their spot in the standings right now. Excel sitting in a good place, but FLIPSID definitely in danger of falling to those bottom 7th or 8th spots if they were to lose this series. So this win, very important for FLIPSID.
Yeah, 9 shots for FLIPSID with only 5 from Excel, and you can see FLIPSID spreading the goals, having a lot of love for each other. Mystic ending with the solo play, but Cookster and Marky do it, passing back and forth. Everyone really trying to be selfless on FLIPSID Tactics, which they've never really been a selfish team. I've never been worried about FLIPSID taking shots they don't need to. But I think as a group, they've all realized, the shots that we used to be able to execute, we just can't execute right now. So what do we need to alter? Obviously, Mystic's like, yeah, I can still make them.
Sure.
But, you two can keep the passes up.
It's funny to me because the Mystic goal was mostly unassisted. He got a pass to the midfield and then quickly shot it towards the backboard and then double tapped it in. But he has 1 assist here, and they had 3 assists on 3 goals. So technically, the game credited whoever passed it to Mystic there on that last goal and assist. But to me, I just like to interpret this as Mystic has 1 goal and 1 assist, and the 1 assist is him passing it to himself down the field. He assisted himself on his goal. I know it's not what actually happened, but it's just a funny thing to think about.
It might as well be.
Yeah.
And Excel really just struggled to keep up with the pace this time. It really felt like FLIPSID just outpaced them. We're getting the balls a lot quicker. They were out-positioning them. You were mentioning that Marky was always there where he needed to be. They were winning 50-50s. Excel kind of just got beaten every sub-category that usually helps your team perform, but not immensely. Just the goal spread ended up slowly getting carried away by the end of that match.
Surprising lack of offense from Excel. As you commented on those 5 shots. A big part of that was Marky's positioning and just general midfield presence from FLIPSID as they were able to keep the ball out of their back half. Back third, back quarter. I feel like half is the wrong word. We're talking about a specific part of the field. Just played over. Cookster's shot towards the net. Played high by Pondex, but the pressure's still on from FLIPSID as Mystic plays it back across. Cookster up. Now Pondex falling along. He's got Zenzis in support to look for the pass. I don't think Zenzis was ready for the pass. He'd already hit his brakes.
Make sure that and the pass was a little too far in front as well. Pretty close to the FLIPSID net.
Zenzis looked for the goalies. He looked for the entire FLIPSID team in net there, but didn't make any real contact, and the shot didn't come through. capitalize on just the energy he was drawing in his direction. Pass off the backboard. Zenzis again looking for goalies. Nielskog's shot. He'll put this one through. The defense kind of caught on rotation. Zenzis getting in the way off of his pass, and Nielskog brilliant accuracy here.
And you can see Cooksey making a full loop before contesting that. Not totally aware of how that was going to bounce off the backboard. He was going to go for it, then he turned around to go for net, and then he realized he had to go for it because somebody had already read it. That kind of no man's land is usually the curse of most players.
You see Nielskog, the leader. Goals per game for Europe here. Get the first goal of game 3 in. FLIPSID had a breakaway opportunity there, but it went unused. Just looking at that, Nielskog was able to drop that one softly in front of Mystic, but didn't happen. 3:30 left to go, 1-0 in favor of Excel. Now Nielskog looking for Zenzis in the middle. See if he can carry this one down. Markey plays it back. Zenzis will opt to let Pondex move up. He'll rotate backwards here. Pondex will flick over the top. Can he finish this off? No, it'll go off to the side, but Zenzis keeps the pressure on. Markey and net as Cookshire looks to play it away. And the 1-2 plays coming through, but 50-50 going in Nielskog's favor. A touch from Pondex will actually fake Cookshire out. Now it's just Mystic in the back. Look at the soft touch out. Cookshire was not ready for that at all. Now Nielskog airborne. Can he drop this one past Markey and Mystic? He got it past Mystic, but Markey on the wall, able to play it away. Dodge that bullet.
And now they forced them to use a lot of boost, so no one from FLIPSID, someone just snagged it, but no one had over 30 boost in that last push.
Markey airborne into the middle, into the orange box. But played away by Zenzis before Mystic can make contact. There comes Nielskog's shot towards net. Quickser again, a soft touch. Mystic flicks it over the top of Pondex.
Nice control.
Zenzis will drop this one down. Nielskog up. Markey. 50-50 game, going so strong for the veteran player here. A wrap around from Excel will move it all the way back into the blue corner, but Mystic on the wall, he'll just fake it out under Pondex. Tries to fake Nielskog as well, but he tackles outright. Markey will be able to clear it off of his back wall. There's Zenzis. Back into the corner, hung out on the wall, expecting Cookshire to play it back towards him. He did, but it went wider than Zenzis expected, so Nielskog had to move in. Slowly we're seeing Excel pushing further and further into the back of FLIPSID. It'll be finally broken up by the clear from Mystic. He had Cookser to work with as well. Now with 1:46 left to go, FLIPSID down by 1. They had a 3-goal win in game number 2. Yet to get on the board here.
Matter of fact, they only had 2 shots compared to Excel's 5.
Now Cookser to drop back. Markey looking for the shot, but Nielskog just kills it. And now with support, he plays it over the top of Cookser. The shot from Zenzis just wide. Pondex in to put it back into the box, and Mystic will be able to play it away. It was such a beautiful play there by Excel. They completely played it around the defense, but just couldn't put it into the net. That sort of stuff, that sort of aggression, it's exactly what they need right now. Just continue to play this one into the opponent's half. Do not give FLIPSID the chance to score. Pondex over the top of Markey. Looked for a second touch, but Cookser had the read. Sends the shot towards the net. Zenzis with the save. Final minute of game 3. Winner of this game will take the lead in the series, put their opponent on match point.
For some reason, I expect the bumps and demos from FLIPSID to just ramp up as the series goes on. Whether it be out of frustration or just understanding that might be a good way for them to attack net. We've seen a couple of bumps that they haven't resulted in goals, so they feel a bit quiet. But Markey again looking for Nielskog.
And Cook should do this one by himself, carries it towards the net, does it, and Pondex not going to be able to get there in time. Looked like Nielskog got a bit caught out. I'm not sure if he got bumped by Markey there.
No, there was no contact between Markey and Nielskog, but I mean, even just kind of being aware of that happening could have potentially made him overturn.
Yep.
Hearing that boost whiz right on by him. A lot of pros use mostly sound cues to know when someone's coming for them, especially for a demo. If you hear a boost coming near you, you can be guaranteed it's probably not a teammate. Your teammate will not be getting that close to you because they understand how to space out. So it's probably somebody coming for your life as there with Markey do that.
Markey and Nielskog demolished each other, and for Nielskog, it's kind of worked out in his favor because he was back on the defense. A very similar game to game number 1 as we tied up late in the final minute. Now FLIPSID with a lot of pressure. See Excel break it away, but they nearly were able to put that one in. Can Excel do it again? in the last few seconds of regulation. Pondex over the top, up towards Zenzus. Should be a bit low on boost after that last drive. Neilskog airborne as well, but this one going all the way in. No, touching down just barely high. Overtime in game 3.
But they know they've got the shots and can catch Excel off guard. That one just barely missing. But Zenzus has control of the mid.
Ooh, what a play there. The 1v1 going in Zenzus' favor into the corner. Mystic plays it back into the middle, but here comes Pondex onto the backboard. Markey needs to play this one off. It's kind of soft and down. Let's go back around. Cookser is up and backwards. He won't be able to play it down the field. He has to drop it, but Mystic gets a solid clear as both Zenzus and Neilskog get backed off. Look at the pinch off the backboard all the way to the blue corner. A lot of power on that one. Now Mystic into the corner. Markey shadowing up and taking a shot. Go away on the defense from Excel. Open net right now. Pass from Pondex a bit wide of Zenzus. Markey onto the wall. The follow through off of himself, playing it into the box. Zenzus back down the field. Cookser rotates and Mystic in the corner. Plays it over the top of Zenzus. Cookser using the wall. Did pass Neilskog as well, but then Pondex back in. Drop it in the middle. Zenzus turns. Switches immediately to the 1 roll. He was starting to rotate back into the 3, but he'll take it. Oh, he actually misses that corner boost. Or did he? So maybe just displayed wrong for a moment there. Neilskog now up. Nobody cooks her down. Taking it past 2. Nobody in the back. Takes the shot. Puts it through. Very wide rotation. Kept waiting for Neilskog to show up and challenge there, but just not going to happen. As Cookser won that touch with Pondex, puts it all the way down, gets the win here in game 3.
FLIPSID spending a predominant amount of this game prioritizing control. They'd always go for the shorter touches to themselves, get it around the one person as opposed to opting for a clear, which really helped them out. You see Cooks here right there. The only reason he could contest that and beat out the Excel defender was because he kept that ball close. He made sure that it was close enough for him to get the touch, and we saw Mystic slowing it down just maybe 20 seconds prior to that. It gets dropped on him. He could have easily cleared it out and bought his team time, but he kept it close instead. Pulled someone from Excel out of their half to come contest for it, and then popping it around them, because a lot of the 1v1 and just mechanical skills of everyone on FLIPSID Tactics, that's that name weight that Shogun was talking about. That name weight comes with plays like that. Cooks here, Mystic, and Market Duda, 1v1 skills falling out of their ears. So being able to control the ball, keep it close to you, that's where they feel they have the advantage, and that's where they're pulling it in their favor. They're essentially kind of tilting the scales over to them. It's like, fine, we'll just beat you in the little mechanical skills. That's what we have over you. We're going to beat you 1 by 1, and then we'll score it.
Yeah, pretty even game here overall. Only 1 shot differentiating them, 9 from FLIPSID to 8 from Excel. As they went back and forth, and it kind of just boiled down to A, beating out Pondex, and then B, just the wide defensive rotation there at the end. Kind of a thing we hadn't really seen Excel struggling with. If generally they had a pretty packed box every time they were having to play defense. Really solid transitions and defensive rotations there from Excel. But now, 1 game away from FLIPSID taking the win here. They're able to do it in game 4, and that'll be the end of this series. Excel wants the win. They got it in game 1, but they've struggled here in games 2 and 3. Especially in game 2 there, where they got shut out, FLIPSID scoring 3 goals.
Just a note, too, speaking to Quinn when he was having some conversations with Cooks here, talking about how, speed becomes very important. When he thinks about approaching a ball, he thinks about, how can I do this as quickly as possible? I feel like for a while there, that became so much a priority. I think that's where a lot of his inconsistencies came from. Because he was prioritizing too much the fact of, I need to get here so quick, that he wasn't always lining things up, but it seems like he's getting more comfortable slowing it down again. Oh,
Pondex in a scary situation there, but he'll get it back out of his own half.
Oh, what a bounce.
Pondex in the box. This one lofted. Neilskog opts to stay down. Played over to the side here. Pondex off the wall will miss, but Zenzus into the corner. Cookser's touch is soft, and Neilskog will be able to answer. 3 players in the box again. Pondex will wrap this one around, but not going to get it past Cookser, and he'll go all the way back to their corner. Zenzus gets the demolish on Marky Duda. His own half, which will open up a bit of space here, but does strengthen the back line. You see Marky right there, passing up to Mystic. Quick transition immediately from FLIPSID. Mystic airborne will drop it in. Just able to get it when you see like the demolish and then the clear, and then the 3 players from Excel say, all right, let's move out. But then Marky passes straight to Mystic. They immediately score.
That was, just thinking about that, Mystic seeing Niels Cook on the ground in the net, a nice hard hit at the backboard, left Niels Cook in pretty much just a useless position. You saw him attempt to go up the backboard, but at that point he was so late, what's the point? And then Mystic had a full open net to strike on.
It feels like Excel is getting a good amount of demolitions in their half, but they're really struggling to find them in the net of Flipside, despite how often they are going for them. And that just means that a player is a bit out of position. Instead of rotating quickly, he's spending extra time in enemy goal, and it's not resulting in anything. Despite the demolitions we're seeing happen again at this midfield and into the Excel's half, they're just struggling to find them actually in the net. Now Mystic slowing this down, flicking it past Niels Cook.
Mystic.
Oh, tried to get it there, but Pondex will zone him high. Pressure's still on here from Flipside, but Marky will miss. Now an open field. Pondex down the shot all the way. It'll drop down and then tie it up. Great recognition by Pondex to realize there was nobody back.
Not just recognition, but this is a hard shot. Last second, he had to turn around and ensure that not only did he put it on target, but he had to make it fast enough to where Cooks here and Mystic couldn't get back in time. Had that been even just 2/3 of the speed, there's a chance it could have been saved. So very well placed by Pondex.
We'll tie up the game once again. See who is able to take the lead here. Can Flipside do it in 4 games? Niels Cook will pass to Pondex. He can take a shot far post. Marky Duda will get there in time, so the shot might have been wide anyways. But a good play by Excel. Again, recognizing the open backfield, forcing Marky Duda to transition quickly. Now Mystic off the touch from Pondex. Zenzis will get the save. Pondex down into the middle. Niels Cook's up again. Pondex following it along. The double threat here from Excel, lofting it again. Mystic will have to play it softly to the side, but Marky's there to get it away. Zenzis will not be able to take a shot. He'll be able to pick it up and dribble it over the top of Cookser into the corner. Niels Cook following right behind Marky onto the backboard. Mystic plays it away before Pondex can take the shot.
Too many attempts sometimes at the backboard will give possession up to Flipside, but right now both teams full sprinting back and forth. So much boost being used. Everyone in Supersonic.
Mystic up over the top, looking for Cookser, dropping it down and puts it in. The angle from Cookser here, what a play.
There's not much else to say other than this. Cookser getting just above that in time. How on earth can anyone do that so quickly? Cookser reminding us that his name still has weight.
The play from Mystic there, I think, is why we call this game Rocket League. He just straight up like a rocket ship, just straight up just pass it to Cookser there. Oh, but the pressure coming on from Excel. Wanted to tie this game back up. Drop it down into the box, Cookser over the top.
He has no boost to follow this.
Cookser actually thought he did. Oh my goodness, it goes through. Both of them thought he did. And look at this play from Niels Cook to tie it up.
Honestly, Cookser bought them a little bit of time by going for that. Since he had no boost, he just wanted to hopefully feint them into not making the attempt. But Niels Cook noticed it the moment he hopped off the wall that, hey, he's not actually following through with that. And the strike beautifully placed under the crossbar.
Just like that, tied up in game 4. Excel needing this win to force game 5. Hanging in there. Mystic to Marky. The shot towards the net, just wide. Zenzis will play it around. Pondex following this one. Zenzis moves in. Shot goes to the corner. Mystic to try and play it away, but Niels Cook, he'll find the net. Everybody on Flipside thought Mystic had this clear and started to move out, but Niels Cook knew he could do this, and he gets the lead.
And moving out as a group like that, Mystic opting for the ceiling touch. We see a lot of players every now and then, they know it's valuable, but at what point, when is it worth it?
Yeah.
And he put himself so far away from that ball that Niels Cook was able to sneak in. Mystic wasn't even that close to getting a contest on that.
Game 1, we saw Excel win 3-2, but there was only 3 seconds left when they scored that third goal. Now with a minute and some change here, Flipside's got plenty of time to tie this back up. We know how aggressive these teams can be when they've got time to work with. Marky Duda trying to get the clear, but Zenzis is there. He'll get the bump on Cookser and a demolition. Niels Cook into the corner. Zenzis will look to get it past Mystic, but 50-50. It'll work out for Flipside for now. Cookser with the kill. Pick up a boost. He'll be able to follow this one. He's got a lot of time to work with over the top of Pondex, who touches it high, but Marky now with the kill and into the corner. Zenzis plays it away. Mystic had hung back. Marky with the soft touch. Oh my goodness, the backwards play from Marky, and it's a tie game again.
I have never seen this. I have never seen anyone able to put that much pace on it going that direction. Oh, Marky.
What a beautiful play.
Oh,
absolutely
it's Flipside back, you know?
Yeah. Well, they've tied it up here. They could do it. One more goal. Excel has to score again if they want game 5. Neilskog onto the backboard. Marky Duda's there, but Zensis, what a push, just shovels it through, and Excel has the lead again.
Zensis reading Marky like a book, knowing exactly how he'd contest that, finding himself above it, timing that front flip so perfectly to make himself an unblockable wall, pushing that through. Even with support from a teammate, if he wasn't there to recover, someone would have secured that goal. 28 seconds left. Can FLIPSID tie this up?
Stick down the field. Cookser's there. Shot towards the net, blocked by Zensis and Pondex in net. He'll move out and try to challenge. Go for first touch over Marky, who pushes it through. Neilskog in the corner, challenging again, but Mystic gets it through again. The 50-50's going in FLIPSID's favor, but this one goes high enough that Zensis can play it away. Now Neilskog back out into the corner. It's the final countdown, and Cookser has to get this out. Looking over Neilskog, but he needs some help. Mystic's there, and it pinches out. Marky in a good position. Can Mystic get it to him? Pass goes over the top of Marky, and Excel will get the win in game 4. Game 5 inbound.
Opening up the morning with a nice game 5 between these two teams. FLIPSID seem to be coming to form. A lot more of the FLIPSID that we know, and even individually they are executing the things that we just don't get to see. This is why we loved FLIPSID for so long, because they'd make shots that were like, oh, all right, well, that's something new. Thanks for that replay. I can't wait to watch that 50 more times. But Excel are holding their own, and as a team that their players also had a lot of weight coming into it. We know that Neilskog, an amazing striker last season. Pondex has been around, Zensis, everybody knows these are good players, but now seeing them, come to form against these top teams, their record 2-1. I mean, granted, they haven't had a lot of games in comparison to some, but that's still a really good record going into this game 5 against FLIPSID Tactics.
Absolutely, but we saw FLIPSID in the form that we've been wanting to see them in since the beginning of the season. That Mystic to Cookser play, I think it was a tie in a game, getting the lead. I don't remember. The lead changed so often in this game, and then the reverse doink from Marky, just driving backwards, playing it over the top. My goodness, there was some fantastic plays from FLIPSID. Can't wait to see who wins in game 5.
And if there's something that they do well, it's not cave under pressure. They have tied things up with no seconds left, half a dozen times. If you look back at all the replays, people doing it, probably one time out of 2 FLIPSIDs in that replay for some weird reason. They know how to play when they're under pressure. So game 5, I expect FLIPSID to still bring out their best.
Yeah, we've heard Kronovi talk about how pressure, losing doesn't really affect him anymore just because he's done it so many times. And FLIPSID's kind of in that same boat where they've just been on the difficult side of a match so often. At this point, they're like, we've been here before. We know how to just play Rocket League. We'll see if that helps them here. Will a team cave or will a team shine? I'm hoping we have a great game of Rocket League. Pondex out to Neilskog to drop into the box. Marky will be there first, but Pondex actually gets the second touch. And then Zensis will pass it back up the field. Mystic moving up. Neilskog's there as well. Gets it off the wall, plays it through, gets the 50-50 as well. And oh my goodness, the plays from Excel right now. Every touch going in their favor. And Mystic's like, I just need one of you to not exist right now. That would really help me a lot. Thanks, Pondex. I choose you.
That actually almost went in. And they're working as a pair as well. That first entire drive was just Neilskog and Pondex working together. Zensis still in the back, waiting to be that third man when needed.
Man, just the aggression right now. Excel playing so fast, playing like a team that wants to beat FLIPSID. This shot will be wide, and Mystic plays it down, but Pondex have fallen back. But Marky Duda with the redirect. Pondex gets the save, and Neilskog gets the clear. Mystic looks for the opportunity to finish it off, but the defense holds from Excel. What a game.
Working as a pair, knowing that Zensis wouldn't get the touch, and he'll get the shot. The counter-attack from Excel, and they'll get their first goal.
131 kilometers per hour, a blazing shot, an absolute rocket right in front of the net as we see Excel take the lead. Brilliant stuff.
From save to goal, Zensis one side of the pitch to the other. He can do it all.
Now 3:52 left for FLIPSID to come back. If last game was any indication, this game is far from over right now. Mark up in the corner, he's got Mystic in the middle to look for. The 50-50s going in Excel's favor as they have since kickoff. Mystic under Zensis and past Neilskog. Can he get it under Pondex? He drops it down, and Cookser will try to play it down. Zensis hangs in the back. Corner between Neilskog out next, but Cookser gets the pass over the top. Marky looks for the shot, but Pondex blocks midair, and he'll go for the transition as well. Now down the field, Cookser and Mystic in their own net. Mystic gets the play, but straight downtown. Sentinel played over to the side, 50-50 goes in Neilskook's favor, and Excel playing, I just feel like it looks like Excel wants it more right now.
They are getting there quicker, but I think they're being a little, I don't want to say smarter with their touches, but probably their positioning, but it's risky. A lot of times you'll notice 3 of them on one side of the pitch, all on the left-hand side, so if FLIPSID can swap it real quick, you'll see counterattacks almost like that.
Gozer and Mystic trying to work together in the midfield. Nearly happens and ties the game. We saw Neilskook and Pondex also working together on a play that nearly worked right before that, including a demo from Marky. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a demolish.
A demolish.
You know, it just sounds like a full word. Mystic airborne here. Into the corner. Neilskook will stall it out. Almost gets a second touch over the top of Mystic. Marky now, into the middle.
Mystic with a bump on net.
Here comes Cookser, shot towards net. Pondex still gets the save, despite the interference from Mystic. Keeping their goal clean. The 1-0 lead, holding on right now for Excel, and Pondex will play it over the top of Mystic. Cookser just has to try and buy time. Marky gets the boost in the corner. They should be in a good position to play this one away, but the 50-50 still going so much in Excel's favor. Pondex nearly makes the shot, but Marky gets there at the last moment to block it away. 2 minutes remaining, still 1-0 Excel.
Pondex trying to just interfere as much as he can on his retreat, which I think is really smart, especially when you know a counterattack could be surmounting.
Cookser with a nice loft. Now this one into the middle. Mystic airborne sends us there as well, but he gets it over the top. Neilskook down. Marky plays it off the corner. Mystic over to the orange half. Neilskook will look for Zenzis. Marky doesn't find it. It's just Mystic in the back right now. He plays underneath 1, but this 1-2 positioning from Excel, they constantly have done this. The last 2 drives, they played into the corner, and the FLIPSID player will get the initial block, but he just passes it straight back to the 2 position for Excel, and they're able just to continuously put this ball in front of the net and create threatening opportunities. Now Neilskook will miss the touch on the wall. That'll give FLIPSID ball control here. Zenzis gets bumped high. Marky takes the shot. The miss in front of the net gives us the tie game. FLIPSID's come back.
The smack on Zenzis, so we couldn't follow this up because he would have easily cleared that out, and then Cookser straight in the middle to Marky due to selfless play and a beautiful placement, and they will tie this game up with just over 1 minute remaining.
And the beauty of the bounce pass that Cookser went for is that Marky basically, he can shoot. You don't know where he's going to be shooting from. Is he shooting from the ground? Is he shooting off the bounce? Is he shooting before the bounce there? Very difficult for the defense to read, and it gives us the tie game with 1 minute remaining in game 5. The pass over the top, Cookser misses. Can Zenzis finish this off? No, Marky gets in the way, and Cookser tries to get it out, but Zenzis will get the back pass. Neilskook into the middle. Who's there? Did Pondex fall back? He did. He's back in the net. He'll be able to play this one away. Mystic putting the pressure on. Across, Cookser will look for Marky. He comes back in, the soft touches over the top of Zenzis. Marky gets a demo onto Pondex, but he's not able to make the shot. He has to fall back. 30 seconds remaining, all tied up at 1 apiece.
Excel finally getting the reset they wanted, just trying to collect enough boost and position where they need to, and where they are aware of each other.
Pondex will put it into the corner. Zenzis had fallen back, Mystic misses. The patience here from Zenzis. Pass 2 is just Marky in the back, but Zenzis lost control. Pondex now down the field. This should be the shot for Zenzis. He doesn't even need to touch it. Pondex, again, the long shots, the overcommitment, and keeping the FLIPSID players in the corners. They don't rotate back, and Excel has the lead.
After all of that, Cookser and Mystic in the corner, you really can't blame a single person. Marky probably should have known not to put that towards the center since he saw 2 teammates in front of him. Mystic and Cookser shouldn't have been up there together, and now with only 8 seconds left, will Excel get this win?
Watch Pondex just say, oh, I thought he'd just drop it straight down and just kill as much time as he can. But out into the middle, Mystic misses. Neilskook will let it touch the ground, and Excel in 5 games, so close, back and forth. But the breakaways there, the way if Mystic moved into the corner and lost to 50-50, Cookser whiffs in the corner, and it's just Marky, and he gets the touch, but he gives the ball right back to Excel. They move it down the field, and Excel takes the win.
I mean, as with almost every play in Rocket League, you can never pinpoint exactly who did the right and who did the wrong. There are so many things that lead to a situation. Why was Marky last man back? Why was he needing to touch it? Why did he place it where he was? You really can't point the finger at any one person, because as a collective, the team did something incorrect to result in that goal. A wide open goal after all that fighting.
Yeah.
It ends in a wide open goal.
Yeah.
Both of these teams just throwing it all out in the field. We're seeing FLIPSID really starting to come to form and reminding us exactly why we think of them as such skilled players.
Yeah, up until that last goal, it was one of the most beautiful games of Rocket League I'd seen in a long time, especially with how fast Excel was playing. We had seen a few slow games in the middle of this series, but then that game, what a way to end there. But Excel gets it in in the end able to keep their wits about them and take it to the old champions of FLIPSID Tactics. But I want to hear what the desk has got to say about this. Over to Axel Toss.
Pretty nice series to start things off, going all the way to 5 games between FLIPSID Tactics and Excel. We're going to talk all about it, guys. I felt like we keep saying the same things about FLIPSID, where they have these just great moments, and you're like, wow, did we really just see that? Is this the FLIPSID we're used to? Are they about to turn it around? And it seemed like they had their moments, but Excel just a little bit too good on their defense overall. Let's take a look at the Mobile One High Performance replay, guys, as we break this down. You know, what held FLIPSID back there, guys?
Well, what a better way to start the series was Coach was like, hey, the Batmobile's back, and like the very first goal he scores was an insane redirect that confused the entire defense. And I feel like Cooksier was playing really, really well. Mystic looked lost at times. Markey, a couple poor touches, like that last poor touch in game number 5 really cost him. But you got to give credit to Excel as well. They started off slow, and I was worried. They stole game 1, I thought. But I thought that was FLIPSID's game to win, and Excel stole it, played a little too slow. Because if you play slow, that's how FLIPSID wants to play. They'll set up plays all day when you're letting them have time. But as the series went on, Excel picked up that pace.
Yeah, definitely those long shots kept catching out FLIPSID. They kept putting too many players forward. Every single time there was a long clear from Excel, they were getting more from it than they probably should have done. But for Excel, this is a week that could make or break them. If they went down 0-2 this week, then we're going to put them into a playoff fight. If they went 2-0 this week, then they're right up there battling for top 2. This was the perfect start for them.
And plus, they have 3 games left, and the combined record of those teams, 10-1 for Excel. So this was a must-win because now they have to play the top 3, basically, that are left, which is good for them because if they want a top 2 spot, why not play those teams to take it from them?
It's the most literal video game thing ever of they are working up the ladder.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the sub-bosses.
Yeah, they're getting into the real meat of the schedule here, and it was a close series all the way to 5 games, and I really felt like they brought FLIPSID to a level where FLIPSID was like, okay, we have to play well, but that type of play from FLIPSID was not enough. Guys, we had some epic plays from that match, too. We're going to show another one. I mean, I don't know which one was the best from the series, but here's one from Markey. Going the other direction.
Oh, Shogun's favorite.
Oh, it's the good old-fashioned Team Rocket trademark.
Doink.
Doink.
And with the cone.
So you're here this time. Number 1 play. No matter what, I don't care what happens today. It's always number 1.
I'm sorry, that Mystic goal was pretty nice.
That
too.
Mystic goal, and then the goal from, I think it was Cooksier.
Yeah, Cook's got all right, okay.
No. Here's what
Let's just
happened.
pick a top 5 from the series.
Yeah.
Let's
You
do
can
that.
fill some arguments with me.
We could do top 5 from just that series. I think it was Cooksier going way up and then angling it down. You remember that one?
Yep.
Just crazy shots from FLIPSID, but ultimately Excel just too much. It also feels like sometimes FLIPSID, it feels like they work so hard to get these epic goals, and then like literally seconds later, Excel just bounces back. And if you think from a player perspective, you know, from a mentality standpoint, if you're working so hard and you're getting a goal and then the next few seconds it's wiped away, you got to imagine how that affects you. So FLIPSID, fallen. It was close, though. They made it close. They made a lot of their series close this season, I think, but Excel ultimately getting the 3-2 victory. Both these teams are playing a little bit later. Excel is going to be playing against PSG. That's going to be a test that's happening later. And FLIPSID going up against Gale Force eSports. We're going to take a short break here from twitch.tv/Rocket League in the Rocket League Championship Series. Coming up next, more European matches coming your way. This time, it's Mocket going up against the undefeated Method as League Play Week 4 continues for the European region.